Peace to the family, another beautiful day. Hopefully you in that space of prosperity and abundance. Alright, so today, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to talk about the interview process and the language and the mindset I strongly believe that you need to have to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish during the interviewing process. Me, myself, I'm in the interviewing process of assistant principal. I just go talk about the things that I fall victim to, the solutions to my problems. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you add a comment. Make sure you hit that notification. So, I understand this. My best friend told me, interviewing, that's a whole different aspect, a whole different world. With interviewing, it's a whole different language. You guys speak that language of interviewing. Understanding how you talk with your friends and other people is different on how you interview. I think it's skilled if you can connect the two and make the interviewing process a great conversation. In order to get to that place, the reps are so important. You gotta put your reps in when it comes to interviewing. So, I've been practicing about every other day for the last 2 weeks. Getting my mindset. Being self-aware and evaluating my skills. And one of the things that I see that I do is I focus on what I can do instead of focus on what I have already done. And being specific with when answering my questions. Understanding that in the interviewing process, they will ask you one question with 5 different parts in it. And sometimes I fall victim of getting lost. So I am going to clean that up by focusing on the question and breaking it down part by part. I'm going to relate it to running. And let me explain. When somebody asks me about running, I am skilled in expressing myself about running because I've done it. I'm experienced in doing it. I need to take that same mindset and apply it to my interviewing. Whatever position that I'm interviewing, I need to focus on the things that I have done and make that connection to what they're asking for. I fall victim to talk about what I can do. So I need to be skilled at talking about the things that I have done, making a connection to what they're asking. And not only have that mind frame that I am not at the bottom of the barrel. They need me as much as I need them. Sometimes it can be vice versa. They need you more than you need them. So you have to have that mind frame. Another thing that I need to focus on doing, improving, is really celebrating the things that I have done. I can do something and just move on. I really need to celebrate it because a lot of people not doing what I'm doing. I have over 20 years of experience in the educational field. That's with managing, teaching, and leading people. And with that 20 years, I have built and learned the skill of creating positive relationships with people, solving problems, and communicating with people in an effective and efficient manner. That's what I learned. And with those skills, just about in any profession, you will succeed and excel. Now, if you're watching this video, what skills have you obtained during your tenure in any type of field that you have been in? Like I'm skilled at selling. Like I've been into this YouTube space off and on for like about 10 years now. But I don't really talk about it because if I'm not seeing what I want to see, then Sometimes I feel like I lost. And not necessarily I lost. I gotta get in that mind frame that it's all about learning. So when it comes to these questions, I want you to be specific. I want you to go into detail. A lot of times with these positions, they love to talk about data. So make sure that you talk about data. And running, I could talk about data. Trust me on that. I could talk about on the run, a mile 3. The focus is hitting an 8:54 pace for the whole mile. In order for to do that, if you run at a 9:30 pace, you will have to increase your pace in the high sevens to get that pace. And you have to be consistent with it. You have to take a certain amount of breaths. I recommend you not to be looking at your watch and so on. So I have to do the same thing when it comes to interviewing questions. Another thing that I need to do is I need to make sure that I put myself in the position to excel when it comes to expressing my ideas when answering questions, meaning that I need to take my time. I tend to rush. Sometimes I need to take that silence, that breath, to formulate my thoughts so I can express it well. And I recommend you to do the same thing. Don't rush your thoughts. Don't rush your thoughts. Excuse me. Not at all. Because you're not going to be happy at the end. What's going to happen is, if you rush your thoughts in the interviewing process, later on you're going to say, man, I should have said this, I should have said that. And that's not beneficial at all. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to take my time. I think I'm going to inform them, like, from time to time, you may see me being silent. All I'm doing is formulating my thoughts because I want to express my ideas the best way I can possibly do it. So I thank you for your patience and time. I think the time is now for you to really sharpen your skills, especially when it comes to the interviewing process. I know the time is now for me to sharpen my skills, and I've been sharpening my skills. Another thing that I want to talk about is having goals for your interviewing process. What is your goal? Don't have the goal to get the position your biggest goal, because you have to focus on what you can control. And a lot of times, certain aspects and certain components you can't control in the interviewing process. You can't control if they select you, but what you can control is how you express your ideas, how you answer the questions, and how you answer the questions in an effective and efficient manner, and how you put your best foot forward. That's what you can control. For them selecting you, you can't control that. So don't build your whole interview on something that you can't control. And that's another thing that I've been doing for years. I go in the interview like, yeah, I'm gonna get this job. And if I don't get the job, I view my interview as bad because I ain't get the job. And that ain't necessarily true at all, because a lot of the aspects I cannot control. So I am focusing on being sharp and recognizing what I can control. If I need to check in with myself during the process, I can definitely do that. And I am going to do that. If I need to say in my head, Winston, focus on what you can control. You can't control the feedback. You can't control the questions that they're going to ask you. All you can do is control how you respond to the question, how you respond to the feedback. Next thing with the interviewing, make sure that you ask questions that's going to benefit you, questions that's going to help you, put you in the space where if you accept the position, you will grow. Because at the end of the day, you are trading your time for money. And you have to make sure that at some point in time, your time and money have a similar that is similarly equaled. Even though we understand that money can never equal time. We understand that. But let's get something close. Because if you're an ambitious, aggressive, and persistent person, you know that you're going to put in the time in the beginning, a lot of time, to understand what you're doing, understanding your position, and sharpening your craft. You already know that you go through that. So you got to make sure that you put yourself in an environment where you can grow. Because it's about you. It ain't about them. It's about you. This is sometimes where you got to go back and reevaluate and check in with yourself and focus on what you can control. Because it's about you. It's about you putting yourself in a position where you can grow in your profession. Always remember that. Asking yourself, is this entity, this action, this place, how is it serving you? And if it's not serving you, then you don't need to be there. You don't need to do that. So that means you got to ask the questions that need to be asked for your benefit. Yes. That just asking those questions. That's why it's so important. Another thing, even bigger than an interview, this is why it's important for you to make videos in general, so you can get the ideas off. Clear your mind so other information could come. That's why I was just thinking, it came to my head, the importance of asking questions. You ask questions to gain as much information as possible. Because the reality is, you want to interview them too. Understand that they'll put you in a grueling process, a 2-hour process, 40-minute process of interviewing you. And then when they ask, do you have any questions? If you have one question, you let them off. Don't let their ass off. Don't let them off. Don't let them off. Once again, I hope you're hearing it. Don't let them off. Have your interviewing questions ready. You have to interview them because you have to see if this is a spot for you to grow. Dang, that was a good one right there. So the next time when you go into an interview, make sure you look good. Because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good. When you play good, they pay you good. That's from Coach Prime. And that matters. That matters. So make sure on your interview that you looking good, you smelling good, you come in there knocking heads off, you focus on what you can control, which is how you respond to the environment, how you respond to the questions, how you respond to the situation. That's it. Have you 2 goals that you want to accomplish. Your goals can be, I want to make a joke. I want to give myself at least 10 seconds to answer the questions. Don't have your goal to be, I got the job. Because God don't want you in that position. And then at the end of them interviewing you, make sure you have your questions to interview them. You want to keep this as equal as possible. Equal exchange, no highway robbery. And then from there, your questions that you ask will determine if you feel like you're a fit for the position. Shit. Come on. But I thank y'all so much for the video. Make sure y'all share, add the comments and everything like that. In the comments, put down any interviewing tips. to help somebody out that's watching this video, that's looking at the comments, but not only at me in general. Appreciate it. Remember that you are God. God is having an experience in you. iBook, Godly Thoughts. That's on the iBooks and Google Play. Definitely support my first book. I put it out there to beat my condition of perfectionism. I had to put it out there. There will be more to go. Much love. Remember that you are God.